Hi friends, this is Kathy with Scrappy Squirrels, and I'd like to welcome you back to our Journaling Through Lent series. We are on day 11, if you can believe it, and I'm so excited to share something new and fun with you today. But I wanted to just take a little peek back at some of the pages that we've worked on with Tina the last few days. I did go back in and just add a few touches to these, so I wanted to point that out. So on this page where she showed us how to cut out with the doily circles, I just put a little note on the piano paper there that said that this was created by my very talented and sweet friend Tina. And I actually did not add any journaling to this page because it was just so pretty. I just felt like it did not need anything else added to it. So I actually ended up putting my day 8 journaling on the same page as day 7, and that worked out. Then we'll move on to days 9 and 10, this sweet little pocket that we created with the bird tag. I did slip in a piece of paper that's patterned on one side and was blank on the other, just to do some additional journaling for the prompt. And I did add these cute little bee and beetle stickers to the bottom. I just feel like that gave it a really nice finishing touch. Then for day 10, I was able to take the fabric strip that I used for cleanup on the day that I was creating our kind of watercolor technique on day 7, and the little linen strip that I had used to just kind of wipe up my mess. I thought that really looks kind of cool. It's kind of a watercolor effect. So I tore a strip of that and glued that down to kind of be an accent on the side of this pocket. And I was actually able to write the Bible verse of the day right onto that vellum, which just works out beautifully. You can see how nice it is. You can still see that really pretty tag underneath, but you can also read the verse. So that brings us to day 11. And I wanted to go ahead and kind of talk about the prompt for today, which is how can I strengthen my faith during this season of Lent. And I think for me, just looking back to see all of the times that God has been faithful in my life thus far really helps to strengthen my faith for today. So I wonder if that might be the case for you all. And that's why I think journaling is so important, because when we do write down the things that are on our hearts and answered prayers, then we can look back at those. And sometimes we need that reminder that when things seemed bad, God came through for us. So that's one thing that I think will help me strengthen my faith. I'm just inking the edges of this journaling card, and I have cut this to be just slightly smaller than my page. And you'll see the reason why. So if you remember our cutouts from day 8, I saved the part that we cut out. And it was so cool to me because it just so happened I was looking at this, and I'll put this up so you guys can see it. But it says dragonfly on that dictionary page. And so I happen to have these little dragonfly stickers, and I added those, and I thought that looks like such a pretty little accent. And I was like, how can I really make that a cool focal point on this page? So what we're going to do today is we are going to create a belly band, and this is going to be our slider feature. So it's going to be kind of an interactive page, and I've seen this done before, but I've never tried to do it myself. So we're going to hope it works out. The first thing I'm going to use is this really pretty thick burlap pink ribbon. And that's going to be kind of the base of my slider, or not my slider, but my belly band. So I'm leaving about a good 1/2 inch on the top and the bottom because I want to have it very secure so that when we slide other things underneath that, it's not going to go anywhere. And this is going to be a time when I'm going to utilize the 2 glue combo. So I'm going to use my score tape, and this is 1/2 inch score tape. Make sure we're getting this straight here. We don't want it to be off center. And then I will come over the top of that with a little bit of my liquid art glitter glue. So we want to make sure this is very, very secure. And I hope you all have been able to enjoy the beautiful weather, the beautiful spring flowers that are starting to bloom. I know here the daffodils are starting to bloom. The Bradford pears, which I kind of have a love-hate relationship with them. I love to see them bloom, but they are terrible for my allergies, so don't love that. But we've been able to get out and enjoy this weather a lot this week, and I'm just so thankful for that. I'm so ready for warm days. Okay, so now we've got the base. Now for the next step, this is going to be the part that holds the slider. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this ribbon to the length I need it to be. So it's going to be roughly the same length as the pink burlap. And this is just I think this ribbon's so cool. It's some vintage floral ribbon, and I think I found it maybe at the Goodwill or some other thrift shop, but it's so unique. I had never really seen anything just exactly like that before. So anytime I see unique ribbon, fabric, lace, you know, I have to snatch it up. So we're going to go in again with our 2 glue combo. And I'm really going to go heavy on the liquid glue because sometimes when you're working with fabric, it can be a little hard to get it to affix, and that's really wet. Another thing that you could do is to use a stapler to secure that before you put that that top piece on, but I didn't really think about that until now, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. So I'm just going to pull this back this way because I don't want to put that wet glue down just yet. So I want this to be facing up. Now, because this is very thin paper, I knew that I would have to do something to kind of give it a little more substance. So I cut a couple of circles with my 2-inch circle punch from an old greeting card. And I'm going to use those to kind of back this. So the first one, I'm just going to glue it straight on to a piece of that greeting card that is cut to a 2-inch circle. And it is going to show a tiny bit behind that doily pattern, but I didn't want to risk that doily getting torn or frayed. So I'm okay with it showing. So now we've got that, and we want it to face this way because when it's completed, it will look something like this. So for this step, this is going to be the tricky part, guys. I want to affix this circle just on the edges so that it will allow this to move. And in order to do that, I'm going to come in. I have some thinner score tape. Ooh, I just shot something across the room here. This is 1/4 inch, and I don't use this as often as I use my, I'm just making sure that I'm lining this up straight, as I use my 1/2 inch, but for something like this where we're just trying to get into a very tight space, I feel like it's going to work perfectly because we don't want to go too far in. Otherwise, it's not going to work correctly. So, all right, let's see if this is going to work, guys. All right, so that still gives us a little bit of clearance on each side. And I am going to peel that backing off. I've got some pink string up under the score tape. It's probably from that pink burlap ribbon. And I'm just going to very carefully apply my wet glue. I don't want to get any on the other side of the score tape because, like I said, I don't want it gluing to the ribbon itself because we want it to be free. All right, so I'm going to press this down. This is going to be kind of like the moment of truth, I guess. Oh, that's crooked. Okay, well, here we are, real life. It's a little crooked. Maybe we can, there we go. Now, is it going to slide? That's the million-dollar question. Oh, guys, you might get to see a disaster in the making. Well, it does. Look, 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 it slides. Okay, I'm so excited. All right, so I'm going to now secure this to the bottom. I'm going to come in with my thicker score tape. I love it when an idea that's out of the box actually works. Because sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's a disaster and we just have to like do a plan B, C, all the way to plan X when it doesn't work. But that's okay. That's part of the creative process. You know, you learn. And sometimes what you come up with that you didn't plan is even cooler than what you did. But I'm pretty happy that this worked out. So look how cute that is. And I will affix that to the page. And then I found from an old, I think it was an old phone and address book, this scrap of paper, and I've just trimmed it down a little bit so that it will slide easily underneath our belly band, and that's going to act as our spot to do some journaling. And you've got room in there. You could add other tags, you could add other journaling cards, whatever you would want to add, but you'll have a space there to put your journaling. So I hope you guys try to do a belly band, and you can do it with not just ribbon. You can use fabric, you can use cardstock, you can use paper, as long as it's something that's, you know, a little thicker. You wouldn't want to use very thin paper. But that is it for today, and I'm so glad you guys joined me. Remember, tomorrow is Sunday, so we will not have a video tomorrow. I hope everyone has a wonderful Sunday, and we will be back Monday with more ideas. Thanks, and have a great day.